Property Patriot, you are cleared hot.
Good morning, and welcome to the Aim High podcast. I am your host, Bud Evans, and today, as always, I am joined by the beautiful and talented Kimmy Hansen, my co-host from the West Coast. Good morning, Kimmy.
Good morning, Bud. Do you have your coffee?
I have something different today. I got a straw. Someone bought me a present.
That is like the ultimate sippy cup at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it, and I still spilled the doggone thing. I don't know. Anyway, if you are here looking for news, you are in the wrong place. We are just a couple of friends sitting around drinking coffee, discussing what happened this week in real estate and doing it badly, and throwing in a dad joke or two.
Or five.
Or 200. I don't know. It's usually, we've been hitting like between 6 and 10 weekly, depending on the week. I don't know. It works sometimes.
It does work. It does work.
Right. Anyway, we're getting closer to the holidays, Kimmy. December 15th. Oh my goodness, we're halfway through the month of December already.
It just flies by. It really does. And I think I told you about this last week, but because I have some upcoming travel. So we're going to be gone this weekend at Ellie Joe's gymnastics meet, which is like 2 hours away from here. So it's actually considered a local meet, but we have to travel all weekend. But we're going to be back on Sunday night. So we get Monday here, and then early Tuesday morning, Ellie and I get to go to Arizona, just the two of us.
Oh, awesome.
It is awesome, except that it means I have to ultimately plan all of the Christmas, all of the things, make sure everything is ready to go. And, I did not appropriately schedule my time. So as it is, we land at 4:00 in Everett, which is theoretically, it's only about 15 minutes south of here, but that'll be rush hour Friday night. At 5:00, we have to be at the far north end of town, opposite of Everett, for her gymnastics banquet, at which I have to show up with a hot dish for a potluck. So today, I'm going to the store. I'm going to buy all the ingredients for a sweet potato casserole.
You don't need a hot dish. You are one.
Oh my gosh. Well, Justin has to bring it though. So he's gonna defrost it, heat it up, drive to the airport, pick us up, and then we're all gonna go straight to her banquet from Arizona. And I have to tell you that I have never had this many moving parts on a travel day ever in my life. Not even when I went to Japan by myself at 16. This feels very crazy.
Hey, Saturday night, we celebrated Stephanie's birthday. She is 29 again.
29 again. I am okay with that, but I that's very valid.
Right. So, yeah, we had a great time. We had, my son, a bunch of friends that went out, and we had some really good time.
Love that.
Went to her favorite BYOB. You know what happens, though? It's sad because she is the birthday girl, and we go to her favorite restaurant. It's an Italian place in Collingswood, New Jersey. It's called Kitchen Consigliere. And she was dying all week to have their spaghetti and crabs, right? Spaghetti with crab meat. And we got there and they didn't have it.
No, on her birthday.
True story. Yeah. So bad. So she got shrimp, and then, she's not a fan, but hey, it was still a great night, still a great weekend. This week is still going on. A couple of repairs, still got a few rehabs going on. It is what it is.
There's never a dull moment, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Kimmy, we had a substantial number of viewers last week. So, guys, if you are joining us and you want to comment so that we can see you in the chat, do us a favor and jump into StreamYard.com/Facebook and plug in your information so we can see who you are and not just the Facebook user. That's enough of that.
Just last sound. There we go. Okay, I'm back now.
Your sound cut out again?
Yep. We're having the technical difficulties this morning, bud. It's first you with your laptop and then me with my speaker.
Yeah, this morning I had this plug and play or pluggable device that I have the 3 monitors. Yeah. I don't know why I did it like that, but because that's like 4, right?
Is this signed now for 3 monitors?
Right. It's that. I don't know. Ask the wide receiver from Seattle. He learned sign language just so he could talk badly about the other team. You saw that, right?
No, I don't follow the NFL.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of your guys. one of your guys is out there, and he's pretty impressive as a wide receiver. Massive, like strong and fast and all kinds of crazy stuff. But he learned sign language so he could say stuff in the end zone when he's. All right,
now I've got to look this up.
Yeah, right. It's pretty cool though. So let's get into it. All right. So Uncle G is back, right? We know that he's over his lawsuit. He's got that thrown out. And here's the deal. So he is now warning, and in a good way, if you are a real estate investor and you are watching us right now, remember that as a real estate investor, we follow the Warren Buffett rule of when people are greedy, be fearful, and when people are fearful, be greedy, right? So Uncle G, Grant Cardone, is warning us that the United States real estate market is about to enter what he believes is the greatest correction of a lifetime. So what does that mean for us? It means that, well, first off, this has never happened before, but guys, you can go out and acquire stuff, high value real estate from, from institutions, right? Investments.
You can.
And right? And BlackRock just made a big boo-boo, but I mean, they're a multi hundreds of billions of dollars. They're that little mistake that they made is not going to be a problem. We'll go over that in a little bit, but I mean, the market correction, I mean, the opportunities that are going to be prevalent right now. I just had someone who they're the trifecta. They haven't done any upgrades to the property because they can't really afford it. Their operating expenses have crept up and their rents are below market. It's like the trifecta of perfection. Wow. And Kimmy, we're going to be talking about that tonight on the Coffee with the Captain multifamily ALP, because it's the same Trenton property that I've been looking at for the past month, trying to get the rent roll. And I got it. But guess what they did? They sent me names and what the rents could be. So I believe that there is another document that hit my mail today, and we'll be going over that as well. So
that's not a rent roll either. That's a proposed rent roll.
Right. That's somebody trying to get you to buy something, and they're trying to take a chunk out of what you're actually going to be making. So.
But this is why we always say, proceed with caution. And quite frankly, when you're talking about the impact that this situation of the greatest correction ever, when we talk about it, creating opportunities for us, this is where you also have to exercise caution, because with a market correction or a market shift of any kind, people are opportunists in general. Okay. Yeah. So if somebody has the opportunity to say, here's the rent roll, bud, here's the names, here's what we could be getting for rent, because they want you to buy their property and take it off their hands. We already know that there's an issue. Well, the same type of thing is going to be prevalent, but in other ways. So this is not going to change the fact that there is still a lack of available housing. There is still a scarcity of those resources out there. But the challenge of this is also, and we've been talking about this for a really long time, the high cost of home ownership and renting. I believe that this is actually going to lead to more people renting than buying, because that's all they can do. And there was a time, I would say, it must have been a year and a half ago now, when I was talking to you about Bud, all these people in this mentorship program that we're a part of, they are buying fix and flips. Mm-hmm. I felt like an outcast because Justin and I, our model was completely different. We were doing short-term rentals. And I had a myriad of people say, well, you must be making bank on that. I mean, yeah, we're making returns pretty much instantaneously, but those returns don't pay off the mortgage that we have on either one of our properties instantaneously. It takes time. And so I had to kind of go with the flow. And I remember distinctly you said, Kimmy, buy everything. Buy it and hold it. This is why. Because it's not just Uncle G is predicting this. That we've had these conversations, but also Cardone has a unique perspective on it because he's seen quite a bit in the real estate market. Yeah.
And as far as regulations, so we're already looking at, interest rate reductions next year, which is cool and awesome for us. But this really favors the individual investor because these institutions bought at the point where they were coming up on bridge loans that were going to come due, and now they're coming due, and they're like, we got to get out of these loans, and they're going to take losses on them.
They will. Yep. There will be widespread losses.
So we're really kind of looking at that. But speaking of investments, Kimmy, do you know why Apple hasn't built a car yet?
Why?
They don't do Windows.
Okay, that one was good. They don't do Windows. Oh, this is perfect timing for Diane Street to join us. Good morning, Diane.
Right. And Janina and Matt Becker and Ivan and Rachel.
And Zena.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got
Marissa. And, of course, our incredible producer, Lay.
Yes. We can't do anything without Lay. She is amazing.
Right.
So let me ask you, when we're talking about investment properties in general, and I realize that the market correction is coming, but what kind of insects would we want to have in our investment property?
Not bed bugs.
Tenants.
Oh my goodness.
Slay all day.
See, like this is the dumbest invention ever. I don't know why somebody gave me this and they were like, oh, it's better for your teeth. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm getting older. Let me see how this works. It just spills more. It like creates suction. And then you get done with the drink, and if you don't blow back into the straw, it splashes all over you. It's the dumbest thing ever.
TMI.
Right?
Oh, look, Lay's got my 10 ants right there.
There you go. So speaking of blowback, Blackstone.
Oh yeah.
They are getting into more trouble with their mortgages, right? So Muddy Waters, that's Carson Block. He's the guy who founded the hedge fund. He is predicting a liquidity crisis. And we just talked about it, right? For the real estate investment trust. So Blackstone Mortgage Trust, which is publicly traded. He's saying that a significant portion are struggling to cover their interest expenses, and many of the rate swaps, like we just said, are set to expire very soon. So it's going to cause some issues, especially for value-add multifamily lending,
Yes. I think the crystal ball is back. I think predictably, we're going to see, again, like refinancing challenges in general, but also what's going on is this is Blackstone Mortgage being potentially able to modify loans to avoid as heavy of losses, and then the bridge lending market in the syndication sphere. So on a larger scale with these bridge loans, like multifamily, I believe that, yes, like the crystal ball is back. I believe that we are going to see some serious, impactful decisions coming.
Yeah. So guys, start looking for, ways to buy these properties, whether it's some form of, you can't really take over their loans because they're set to expire. But if you have a really good lender who can bring you in on it, you could buy them at a discount, do it. Right.
Well, there's also a new regulation, maybe not necessarily for all of these properties, but you can buy a rental property with just 5% down right now.
Yeah.
Just came out in, was that November, I think. Anyway, buy everything. Think Shakira, right? Try everything. No, buy everything. Buy everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that one. I know.
You don't know it? Oh, it was because it was from a kid's movie, a children's movie that is pretty recent. And your child is like closer to my age. So I can't see that you would have been familiar with it.
Yeah. He's in his 30s. That scares me. Because that means
it scares you. Why does it scare you?
Listen, when I tell my dad I'm over 50, he's like, no, you're not. Because that makes me 80. That's not happening.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Well,
so this song is from the movie Zootopia, by the way.
Oh, I did see that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Because, I am a closet cartoon freak, an aficionado, because there are a lot of hidden jokes in a lot of cartoons that are made for children that when you're a kid, you have no idea what they're talking about. But
there are quite a bit.
When you're an adult, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Like the entire movie Shrek.
That is a great movie.
When they start talking about Farquaad, I'm losing my mind. Because when you say it real fast, it sounds like something that we're not going to say on a family channel.
It's so true.
And YouTube will hit us. They'll knock us down. They'll take it off. Right?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
But it is what it is, right? But hey, listen. Speaking of childhood, Kimmy, not in New York, and not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but Michelangelo's home just got sold.
I saw that.
Yeah. So where he grew up, his childhood home just got sold.
How much did it sell for?
8 million euros, about $8.8 million. So
wow.
Yeah,
that
right.
Still doesn't seem very high.
No, it's not, and it's 9,700 square feet. It sits on 2.5 acres of land. That's really not. That's like comparatively, that is not expensive at all. Like if you're in Manhattan or Nashville, Tennessee, or God forbid, California, and you're buying a $9,700 house. Oh my goodness, or 9,700 square foot house. My goodness, it's going to be it's going to be more than 8 million. I'll tell you that. We just talked about one a couple of weeks ago in California that sold for 8 million. I think it was like 3,500 square feet. So it was about a third of the size,
So the moral of the story is buy in Italy.
I got a friend of mine he's getting sent over to Germany for a couple of years, a few years maybe. And he's looking at, it's Mark, or Bob, I'm talking about you. His name is Mark. We call him Bob. All hail King Bob. Minions. Look it up. Right?
Oh
hail King Bob. Yay. Anyway, so I told you, right? I told you, I'm hip. I'm with you.
Sure, you're hip.
Anyway, so, look, just buy wherever you can buy up. And he's going to Germany. He's already looking at a property he's going to buy. He's got a partner who's going to hook him up, with it. They're going to buy it together. And then he's got a real nice house over here. He's renting it out. So it's not only covering his mortgage, but he's making some cash flow. Essentially, he's moving to Germany, getting paid to do it, getting paid to live in a house that he's not going to have much of a mortgage on, and, paying himself rent while somebody over here is paying his mortgage and he's cash flowing his personal property. Plus, in Germany,
there's a million ways to make money in real estate. There really are. And speaking of servicemen and women in the real estate investing sphere, but I got to ask you, if Forrest Gump owned a property management group, what would it be called?
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, do you need help running your business? I don't know what I would do without my executive assistant. Get outsourced solutions for every need by visiting Reba Global. Check them out now and get help for just about every aspect of your business today. From marketing through property management and even administrative virtual assistants. Check out Reba Global. The link is in the show notes. It wouldn't be Bubba Gump because that's already done. I don't know, Kimmy. What would it be called?
New Tenant Dan.
I'll give you that one, but it's a little.
Oh, explain me.
Yeah. So, what does Jeff Bezos do before he goes to sleep?
What?
He puts his pajamas on.
Oh my God. Oh, bud. Oh, my word.
That's the reaction that you look for right there. My God. Oh, bud. Right. So anyway, the sale of his home is a testament to the enduring appeal of properties with cultural and historical backgrounds. And if you're in the United States and you buy a house, and this is the problem. If you buy a house in the United States and it's on the historical register, it is a nightmare to rehab. Ask me how I know. Right. So, I mean, instead of buying like facsimile windows that are actually, ecologically sound, energy efficient windows, dual pane. Can't do that. You got to buy the historical wood windows, which are single pane glass. And they're like, now you're just throwing money out the door just because it's just dumb. We got to keep the original. You really don't. It's just keep the structure original.
There are. So I was just going to say, I was actually looking with Yasser, the property captain. I was looking at a property with him yesterday online. And what we were looking at it was in a historic district. I can't remember if this one was, it must have been in Philly. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But we were looking at it and I said, how old is this home? Because that stonework does not look like anything even from the 20th century. And he said, no, it's actually built in like 1890 something, whatever.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful home. And obviously had been redone multiple times throughout the years, but not recent years, and so I was just geeking out, looking at the design potential and because actually that's my first degree. I don't know if anybody knows that I have 2 degrees. So my first degree was in residential design before it was a cool thing on HGTV, like legit way before. I graduated from the Art Institute of Seattle. And that does not even exist anymore. I should tell you how old I am at least. But my next degree is in communication. And so here's Yasser showing me and I'm just like a kid in a candy store. Oh, I would do this. I would keep that design element. I would keep the stone and redo the siding. He goes, aha, you have to keep the stone. You cannot tear it down. It's considered historical. And then I was looking at the windows and I was like, wait, it looks like those windows are newer. You don't have to have those old, like you said, single pane wood frame, whatever. And he goes, actually, no. But I think if I recall, and I'll have to check with him, it's only because somebody else already installed the new one.
Exactly.
They already screwed it up. So all you can do, you can't do anything other than improve it, right?
Right.
And so you're not going to be charged with having to redo the old stuff that's in there. But you do have to keep the stone. And I'm out there going, oh my gosh, I would totally just clean the stone, redo it. I have 2 different color schemes. And Yasser's like, we haven't bought the house yet.
Right. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. But again, a perfect example of buy everything. Just buy it. This is what we've been talking about, Bud, for the last few weeks is there are going to be multiple opportunities. Right now, this is the time for you to hone your craft with direct mail, door knocking, cold calling, whatever, however you have lead gen coming into you, because within the next year, it's just going to be opportunity city. And what I mean by that is you're going to have opportunities to help homeowners that might be facing foreclosure. There's almost always a way to help somebody. Now, obviously, if somebody is so far underwater that nothing makes sense, cash doesn't make sense, creative doesn't make sense. And, we have this saying, cash, creative. So always give 2 cash offers. Creative is never your first one. And it's going to create this hole, and it's going to keep opening and getting bigger and bigger and bigger for investors. Why? Because retail buyers can't compete with what investors do, because we know that if we utilize other people's money and we look at debt as leverage instead of a negative liability, we can be so much more successful together, right? Collaboration over competition. Yep.
Absolutely.
And retail buyers operate single-handedly. It's just them. And maybe their mom or dad co-signing for them, but
Yeah. So I've always wanted to buy like a villa in France or Italy or something like that. My buddy his family had one over in Nice, which was awesome, but
I'm already in my head going, how would I rent that out and hire a cleaning company to stay
right?
on track?
Exactly. Right. I mean, think about that. It's absolutely insane. But I was a cop, right?
What? Yeah.
I was a cop. Yeah. So to the person who stole my bed, I will not rest until I find you.
The person who stole your bed. Okay, bud. I see you. Oh my gosh. I was not a cop.
No, definitely. Listen, if you're looking at anything, buy wherever you can, whenever you can. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate. Yeah, buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Tried to combine 2 sentences. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Well, but there's something else that I think people don't know when they're buying, when they're investing. So I'm not talking about being a retail buyer and buying your second home or your first home or whatever. Not talking about that. I'm talking about being an investor. I've been talking about this for a few weeks, but like marry the house, date the rate.
Yep.
So if you're not buying because you're afraid of the, first of all, what did a rate ever do to you? Like, I'm just asking, because I have talked to so many people, and I would say probably at least 20% of the people that I've had conversations with in the last week have said, yeah, I just really wouldn't buy right now. It's a scary time. Do you know what? Those are the people that have zero streams of income besides one, their W-2 job.
W-2, yeah, that's it.
If you are an investor and you are saying, I'm not going to buy right now because, you are wrong. Fight me.
Fight me.
I'm here for it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just saying, it's almost like nails on a chalkboard, because if you're an investor, you know that we make our money when we buy, not when we sell.
That's right.
Therefore, buy now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I run my webinars on Thursday night, and the common theme in that is, great. Okay. Understand what you had going on before. What are you doing this week? Right.
Right.
So don't stop. Go out there.
No.
And if you find your first deal, don't stop. Second one's right behind it.
Yeah. So true. So
right,
true.
But
we had coaching calls. When I talked to you about that, I was like, bud, I'm ready for my next deal. I'm ready. And you're like, I know. So you got to go find it. You got to go look. And we did. We looked diligently. Oh my God. And then the second one just sort of fell into our laps.
Mysteriously fell into your lap, right? Isn't that amazing how that happened?
It's fun. I really enjoy it. I'm addicted to the feeling of being confident in what I'm purchasing and knowing that it's going to cash flow. Just that stuff. Like I love that. And actually last night, I was listening to my friends, Heather and Christie, were talking with my other friends, Rick and Bill in the Coffee Tribe. And they were actually streaming live on the public Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about the different types of deals that Heather and Christie have done. I think Heather and Christie might be two of the only real people, like real life people that I'm actually friends with and know personally, that have done every single exit strategy that there is, right? So they've done buy and hold. They've had all kinds of rentals, long-term, medium-term, and short-term, and they operate across all sectors right now. They currently have 13 doors. They've done fix and flips. They've even done novation, bud.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're wondering, novation is very simple. It's just partnering with a seller. That's all it is. Okay. Yeah. There's obviously contracts involved and stuff, but that's basically what it is. I know that it's been glamorized on TV and I've talked about it before, like on Selling Sunset. They call it the concierge service, and it's it's a novation agreement. Same thing with unsellable houses, which is actually filmed up here in my county. Unsellable houses, same thing. It's a novation agreement. But bud, there are so many other hidden gems in the investing world. Actually, Justin and I are getting started with infinite banking, which is one of the coolest concepts that I have ever been exposed to. And it's really cool because you pay yourself first. And I won't get into all the nitty gritty.
Are you using my guy or are you using somebody else?
I don't know. We'll have to talk offline.
Okay.
We'll have to figure it out. But we have been very impressed with the company that we're working with and how they educate you first.
Yes.
With zero sales. So they actually pay $0 for marketing. And that's the way to have a successful business entity in their realm, okay? In the infinite banking realm, because they want repeater business, but not from you. It's almost like Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo shows you how to spark joy by getting rid of all the crap that doesn't. And she wants her business to have a repeater rate of 0 because she wants you to know, learn, and sustain.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what infinite banking is. Learn and then really let it sink in, but sustain it for a lifetime. And bud, it's a cool concept because you borrow from yourself, you pay pay yourself back.
I have 2 loans against my cash value life insurance policy right now. One is 49 Bond Street, one is 33 Oak Street. Guess who's getting paid back?
You are.
Yep.
You are, because you're using infinite banking. It's solid.
The money's in there, still earning 5%, and I'm borrowed at like 3.75. So I'm still making money on the money that's making money.
It's amazing.
Right?
I don't know why more people don't do it, other than they just don't know, or they're too skeptical for their own good.
Yeah, exactly.
But but if you miss a payment back to yourself, like if you're paying yourself back, if you miss a payment back to yourself, what's going to happen?
Oh, wait, you're supposed to pay that back?
Well, I mean, theoretically,
Yeah.
but
You know what I do? Honestly, here's what I do. And if you haven't seen the post, the Facebook post about it, it's my wife and I took a trip out to the Greek Isles, and here we are sitting in Santorini at a cafe having a Greek breakfast in a Greek cafe, overlooking this beautiful, the three domes, one of the most famous pictures that you could ever see. And in that post, it's basically how I do it. So I take money from my infinite banking, from my cash value life insurance policy. I put that into rental properties. The rental properties pay my home equity line of credit, which is how I'm using velocity banking, right? So that's paying that down faster. Then when I get to the amount of money that I owe myself, I take it out of my HELOC and I pay my cash value life insurance policy back.
Absolutely.
Essentially, it's no money out of pocket, other than the fact that I have, a cash value life insurance policy, which is still earning money on cash that isn't in there.
Let's take a quick break.
Are you ready to take your real estate investments sky high? Aim High REI is the perfect Facebook community for you. Get answers from experienced investors, connect with other motivated individuals, and benefit from valuable resources all in one place. Join our amazing network today, and we'll help elevate your investing journey beyond what you think is possible. Aim High REI is on Facebook. Just click the link down in the show notes. The best part, it's completely free.
Correct. Because it's like a mutual fund type of a thing. Yeah, and actually, Bud, did you know that nobody has ever lost money utilizing infinite banking through a whole life insurance policy?
Really? Well,
yep.
You do have to watch, though, because there are regulations that you could wind up getting yourself in trouble, and you can actually default on yourself by accident. So
you can.
Need to watch that.
You can.
And in that case, you would.
You actually have to have multiple policies to get to the level of being able to fund whole deals on your own, right? But but over time, you just build it up. It's a really cool first step into generational wealth, is how I look at it. There was a moment last week when I was talking to Justin about it that I actually found myself being like, man, why didn't I know about this in my 20s? Well, that's because in my 20s, I had to learn all these other lessons that set me up for success to be where I'm at today. And I'm just grateful that I know now, because Bud, let me ask you, so let's say you are paying the money, right, through your infinite banking system for a rental property. Okay. You've got somebody else that is paying the mortgage to yourself. Yep. So, but if you have a traditional, like a conventional mortgage with Bank of America, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, whatever, if you feel like no one cares, miss a mortgage payment.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Miss a payment. I had this conversation with my wife the other day, because whether you know this or not, the federal government owes me a lot of money because I'm a veteran. And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with this, but they care more about collecting taxes than they care about paying the vets. So there's a large chunk of change that they owe me.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying me. Now, thank God I have sources of income, because if it wasn't for that, Kimmy, this is my pension we're talking about. This is an earned benefit, not an entitlement. Yep. And they don't pay me for months. It's been months that they haven't paid me because, right, why not? And then the VA still owes me like from a couple years ago. So we're talking about like 40 grand, right?
Yeah, it's not small.
Now try to explain that to your mortgage company. Now, if I did not have these other sources of income, then I'd be going, I'm on a fixed income. You know what I mean? Like, I worked my whole life on a W-2 so I could retire. And then I'm compensated by having a veteran's disability. I'm a service disabled vet, so I get a percentage for that. And then my actual pension. Now you're not getting it. Hey, we're just not going to pay you. How far back are we? No idea. When am I going to get paid? Don't know. It's in process. We'll tell you when you get it. Well, actually, if you go to this website every day, eventually it'll show up. Tell your mortgage company, I can't pay you this month because the federal government hasn't paid me, and see what they do. They're going to take your house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's,
you're using cash value life insurance policy and infinite banking, miss a payment.
Bingo.
The only person that you're kind of boning is yourself.
That's right. That's
but you're still making money on it.
Exactly. It's making money while it's making money. Oh, it's just so cool. And Zena, this is what I'm interested in learning about infinite banking. Zena, either Bud or myself would be happy to have a conversation with you offline about how we've utilized it in our lives. And you can jump into, by the way, jump into Aim High REI and start asking questions, because this is exactly why we have the group. It is not a group where you can solicit and advertise, but it's a group where we can all help each other and network together and honestly grow together as investors. And quite frankly, it's a group of people that is growing at a pretty quick clip, I would say.
We're at about 550 now. And guys, there are subject matter experts in there. And if you are currently an expert in this group, because this is live streaming in the Aim High REI, I don't stream this on the personal page. If you are an expert in Aim High REI, do me a favor, reach out to me, please, so I can give you your badge. Like Adam Smoot, who does single mobile home investments, like Adam Doran, who does exactly this. Please reach out to me, so and request your badge so that I can put it on there so that people can reach out to you in the chat. We do not allow solicitation. We do not allow spamming. We do not allow any of that stuff. So take it offline. We do have those chats set aside specifically for that reason. Like Chris Pod, we set up an IT for his CRM. You want to reach out to Chris Pod, hit him up on the page and tell him, hey dude, let's chat, and then get on there and start talking about the CRM, because he's got a pretty capable system. So definitely check that out.
I can personally speak to that, but yes, but also I can speak to the value when you reach out to somebody in the group, because they'll connect the dots that, oh, you're in the same group that I am, or oh, it's here in the group and I can see that you're a member, and it just adds a little bit more credibility, and it also gives people a shorter span of time that they work within to make the connection, so that you skip over that process when you're having those initial conversations. And you know what, I have to say, I'm happy to keep real estate agents in business. I'm not licensed yet, but I'm happy to keep them in business because we need them. And this is where Aim High REI comes in. If we all get together and we collaborate, we can buy more things, keep them in business. Ooh, and what do real estate agents have to be thankful for? Lots. That's right. I said what I said. And they can be thankful for lots of us in the Aim High REI group making things happen. And there are other places that we're making things happen too. So Coffee with the Captain Tribe, we're definitely making things happen there. And Bud, you and I say it quite a bit: collaboration over competition, because we are so much better together as investors. And we are still not sponsored. We need shirts, Bud. I want shirts.
Right? Yeah, we do. I'm working on it. Listen, Kimmy, we're going to conclude here in a minute, because Rosie, the timekeeping dog, has given me the. I've got
Phoenix, the timekeeping cat, right here too.
Right. Yeah. So, just real quick, it is wintertime, so I'm going to ask you, how do you find Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince.
Ooh, I like it.
Hey, look, I got to give the man credit. He's West Philadelphia born and raised. Playing b-ball is where he spent most of his days. And I know exactly where, because I kind of know that area. Anyway, so guys, if you're still here, thank you very much for watching. We do appreciate you watching after the fact and in its entirety. Guys, if you're here and you're hearing and getting some value from this, do us a favor. Share this group with other budding real estate investors, or even ones that that are actually successful. Check out the Aim High Podcast at theaimhighpodcast.com on Apple Music, Spotify, or any other platform that you listen to. And for additional content, check that out, because I do interviews every Monday. This goes live every Friday. Last week's will be airing today, right after this one. And don't forget to tag someone who might be interested. Also, get out there to Apple Music and Spotify and review us, please. We are looking for 5-star ratings. We want to get this thing up and running. We want to make sure that the Aim High REI is free, stays free, and will always be free, so that experts and beginning investors can have conversations without all of the, look, there's a thing called free to fee. That's not happening, right? So please check us out. I got fired from a calendar factory because I took a couple. I got you.
That's nice. Phil. That's Phil. Nice, Phil.
Nice. Way to go, Phil. Way to go. All right. So for Kimmy Hansen, my way to end it, Phil. For Kimmy Hansen, my co-host from the West Coast, I am Bud Evans, host of the Aim High Podcast. Until next time, and as always, aim high.
Thanks for being a part of the Aim High community. Your support drives us to create valuable content, and we can't wait to see your success stories in real estate investing. Till next time, aim high, never stop learning. Bud Evans, signing off. We'll see you soon.